Today there's a worldwide Islamic epidemic. One who might be a good talker, or possibly even just grow a couple-day-old beard, maybe put on a scarf, maybe even not even a scarf, just put on a kufiya and go to a local masjid or give a talk or two and just upload it on YouTube. What happens? The man who has sacrificed his whole life in medical school, who knows snippets of Islamic knowledge, or possibly one or two bits and pieces of Islamic knowledge, the one who spent and sacrificed his life in law school and engineering school, or maybe a businessman, suddenly, oh, he's a sheikh, he's a mufti, he's sheikh so-and-so. He begins to speak so boldly in matters of the destiny of this ummah, the Sahaba and the four Imams would have backed away from. Sometimes it starts off innocently. That's the truth of the matter. He teaches, he knows some good hadith, good lecture, good khutbah he gives, and he conveys it, and it starts off good. Or he goes to a non-Muslim community, he conveys a lecture, invites them to Islam. That's good. But some don't know where to stop. Suddenly after he speaks in the local community and begins to wear his kufiya out a lot, and then a few-day-old beard, or possibly sometimes you go to Hajj and come back and he's a sheikh and a mufti from going back to Hajj, or go to Medina for Umrah and come back, or he went back to Medina. What's his knowledge? What's his sheikh? Oh, he went to Medina. How long did he stay in Medina? 3 weeks. What did he get in 3 weeks? The problem is people don't know their limits. Now, in this day and age, you don't ask, where's the sheikh? You ask who's not the sheikh. You just present a question, Islamic question in any field, in any surrounding, and just see the people and see who will say, well, Allahu A'lam. Let's consult the sheikh, see how rare that is. Abdurrahman ibn Abi Layla said, I met 120 of the Ansar. 120 of the Ansar, the Prophet ﷺ Sahaba. Abdurrahman ibn Abi Layla is a tabi'i. He said, if you ask each of them an issue, they would defer it to the other person and the other person, and until it comes back to the first person. It goes from 120 people all the way back to the first person. Not a single of them preaches a hadith except that he wishes his brother would suffice him. Not a single one of them would give a fatwa except that he wishes his brother would suffice him. Can you imagine asking 120 Muslims today about an Islamic matter? Oh, wallahi, I think this and this, and I think this, and ask him, my watch broke or my computer broke. He's going to say, oh, take it to the computer office or this place, they know good. But Islam, everyone's a sheikh today. Umar used to say, fear Allah and giving your opinions over matters of this deen. Umar and Ali, among others, when an issue used to arise, they are the best of the best in the best century. You would think Umar and Ali would jump up and answer the question. But when a question or issue would arise, they would gather the Sahaba, get together. What's the answer to this question? Maybe one of them heard a hadith the other one didn't know. You think Umar and Ali, when they did that, they didn't know? Honestly, do you think they did not know when they would gather the Sahaba and ask them? No, but they wanted to make 1000% sure that this is the right answer, that they didn't miss out on anything. Ata ibn Sa'ib said, a tabi'i, I met men, he means about the Sahaba. He's a tabi'i talking about the Sahaba. I met men, when one is asked about a fatwa, his answer would be while his knees were trembling and shuddering. His knees would, why? He fears Allah that he's going to be asked about this question. Al-Sha'bi, Al-Hasan al-Basri, and Abu Hussein, all tabi'een, the second generation after the Sahaba. They said, some of you today give fatwas in matters that if they were presented to Umar ibn al-Khattab, he would have gathered the people of Badr to consult with them. إن أحدكم لا يفتي في المسألة لو وردت على عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه لجمع لها أهل بدر. What do we say today, Sha'bi? What do we say about today, Al-Hasan al-Basri? What do we say today about the Ummah? If that's during your time, the first century, people who can't, wallahi, people who cannot pronounce a single verse from the Quran have today become, whether they call themselves or other calls them or not, indirectly, have become muftiin. People so ignorant, they use matters abrogated in Islam as proof to substantiate their stance. Wallahi, we heard those who can't pronounce a single verse from the Quran clearly issue fatwas or use some kind of proof on matters that are abrogated. abrogate it to, for example, Imam Malik said, whoever wants to answer a fatwa or issue pertaining to Islamic matters, let him contemplate as what's best for him before Allah. What's going to suffice him when he's before Allah. Let him remember heaven and let him remember hell. And after he contemplates and think that, let him answer. من أحب أن يجيب على مسألة فليعرض نفسه قبل أن يجيب على الجنة والنار وكيف يكون خلاصه في الآخرة ثم يجيب. A man asked Imam Malik and he didn't answer. The man said, Abu Abdullah, please answer me. Imam, answer me. Imam Malik replied, do you want me to be a justification to the action that you want to do? Do you want me to be the justification for the action before Allah? And then I'm the one to get punished and you go scot-free? Al-Haytham ibn Jamil, he said Imam Malik was once asked about 48 matters. He answered 32. And he said to the rest of them, I don't know. He answered 32. And the rest of them, he said, I don't know. Roam around the world and ask the same number of questions Imam Malik was asked about and see how many answers. You're going to get, if you ask 50, you're going to get 50 out of 50. You ask 10, you're going to get 10 out of 10. It's a miserable situation of the ummah. One man told Imam Malik, Abu Abdullah, if you say I don't know, who knows? Imam Malik, you're the mufti of your time. Imam Malik said, you don't know me more than I know myself. I know myself. He's saying, do I look special to you? I'm an ordinary person and I know my limits. If Imam Malik knows his limits, shouldn't people of today know their limits? He said, if Ibn Umar said he didn't know, then I can say I don't know. Being conceited, and this is Imam Malik's word, and love of prestige and leadership is what destroys people. That's why they can't say I don't know.